my honest and open point of view. Based on hearing both recounts of stories, being there myself, and talking to everyone that was there afterwards, George's recounting of events is much closer to what actually took place. I think people expressing that someone did not consent to touching or cuddling because they did not verbally speak it is extremely dishonest. You can clearly consent without verbally specifically saying something, just as you can nod your head to say yes. Silence is not consent, but I was there, and although I did not know that any sexual touching had taken place, I can say for a matter of fact that their interactions were extremely positive throughout the night, and she had many opportunities of separation. Even getting up and down off of the couch and laying back down with him after the alleged sexual assault took place, and her best friend leaving after what took place and her choosing to stay for hours. No one that was there had anything but positive experiences to share until many months later, and I was shocked to hear anything at all. Everyone was already drinking, and in no way was them drinking along with everyone an inappropriate action. Everyone was drinking and everyone was in and out. Yes, she was not. 21. No, it's not a normal thing at all to stop creators at a convention, or anyone for that matter, from drinking because of that. Many of the people I've seen criticize this fact already have very publicly drunk many times with under 21 content creator and are not being impartial. I will agree with George in saying that there is a group of content creators that have a very large hatred for me and the Dream Team. I'm not exactly sure why, I have some ideas, but it's been going on for over a year now. Multiple of these content creators have spread total lies about me and take any opportunity they can to spread negative rumors. Kaidi is not one of them, to be clear, but she is friends with many of them, and this is even something we discussed in person. I obviously can't say for certain that this has anything to do with what she said, but I can assume it had an impact on the lens she viewed George through. One of these content creators that used to be on the Dream SMP spread that they asked me about the grooming allegations when they happened, and that I proceeded to ban them from the Dream SMP Discord server to hide it. This is completely false. They were never banned from the Discord, they left randomly themselves. I answered every question they had over text and volunteered to answer any more. This lie was incredibly harmful and still has effects to this day. This is one of the many lies or exaggerations they've spread. Both Kaidi and her other friends there spoke about how this group in the UK, who Kaidi is best friends with, despise me and that they're not sure why. I talked positively about change and hoping one day they would come around. Months after the incident, one of this group tweeted, accusing me of bringing 18-year-old girls at VidCon to my hotel room to drink. I was shocked at this and immediately looked into what he was talking about. This was 2 months after VidCon. He was talking about this. I didn't know Kaidi beforehand, and she was already drunk and drinking, and essentially paused a warning with an overage friend of mine. I even suggested they don't come. After this is when I had a conversation with Ghosty, Katie's best friend who was there, about what he was saying and how it was ridiculous, where she agreed. I was confused as to why he was saying what he was saying, as it was about me, and no one that was there had any idea what he was talking about. Katie was avoidant of clarifying anything to them or defending me, and was careful with how she worded things in text to me about it. It was speculated by everyone that was there that night that it was because she is good friends with the UK group, and she didn't want to lose them as friends if she defended me or my character, or said anything positive over text. Both Katie and Ghosty expressed that their interactions with me were not representative of how the UK group talks about me. We all talked positively afterward about those nights, and even talked about meeting up again. I had no impression of anyone having any negative opinions about anything at all that happened at VidCon, even after directly talking to and asking people there specifically about it. I feel terrible for Kaidi, and I believe she genuinely has extreme feelings about this, regardless of how they formed. I am sorry that I at all contributed to this negative period of her life. I would hope that she knows that I had absolutely no negative intentions at all. I really thought she was a great, fun person to be around. I do not feel bad for any of the people masquerading as heroes, though, that are doing so for personal vendettas, in relation to this or other accusations, including my own. Just like you should not trust that creators are always good people, you should not trust that creators' supportive actions are always done with good intentions. Many creators that express to me behind the scenes that, even if the allegations are true, they wouldn't care because they're not a big deal, are some of the same people that were later praised for no longer associating with me due to these allegations. Many creators never asked me any questions at all, even sent private messages of support, and then chose to ask me questions the same day I had drama with another creator they were better friends with. Many creators pretended not to be associated with me publicly, making jokes of the potential abuse, while privately being positive to me. Other creators dropped me as soon as I was no longer working on projects they were heavily invested in, but were perfectly fine playing dumb when it benefited them for their next big stream. Many creators that knew about this specific situation for a long time and hated me long before it continued to make slights without me ever having any idea why they were doing it. They publicly attacked me far more than ever, saying anything negative towards George. Even though I had no idea of anything remotely about this situation being a thing, and they thought that he was a horrible assaulter, it's incredibly obvious to me that this is because they already hated me, and not because they care about any potential victim, even if they are close friends. Creators are not always who you think they are. Even the ones that seem the most proactive about supporting victims can be using vulnerable people to push their own agendas. Whether it's their audience, actual victims, or friends, support victims because they deserve it, not when it benefits you. I will never stand for abuse, and have shown that on many occasions, even with my closest of friends. Even my best friends. I feel like this post has been very negative, so I just want to end this positively. Most creators aren't like this. There is a lot of good in the world. There is a lot of kindness and honesty and love. There are many creators that are fair and kind and truthful, and no one should give up hope on creators in general. It's just like everywhere else in life. There's a balance. The bad is just amplified on social media as everything is under a microscope. I don't think all is negative, and I think having these conversations is important and helpful for everyone, including victims and anyone learning and growing. This is all I have to say, as there is no more information to be gathered, and I would like to end the horrible cycle of drama for myself at the moment.